Other, and we're live. Today's daily reading, I want to read to you from Wayne Dyer's excellent book, Wisdom of the Ages 90 Days to Enlightenment. One of the sections of people that I really admire is Henry David Thoreau, and he's written a poem called Nonconformity and How to Become a Nonconformist. I think those individuals that blaze the path for others, or the individuals that are most admired hundreds and thousands of years from now, are the ones that um, led individual paths regardless of what the people thought. And there's a quote that says, "To be a nonconformist, it says, is to be misunderstood, and to be misunderstood is to have greatness within you." Nonconformity also means to do what your heart says and march on to the drummer. Whether people like it or not, you go for your goals and dreams. Whoever's to be whoever's to be a man must become a nonconformist. That's one statement Thoreau says. This is written from Walden Pond, Nonconformity, from Henry David Thoreau. If a man does not keep pace, if a man does not keep pace with his companions, perhaps it is because he hears a different drummer. Let him step to the music which he hears, however measured and far away. Henry David Thoreau, he lived during the ages from 1817 to 1862. Henry David Thoreau was a Harvard educated, but chose the unpopular career of writer and poet to satisfy his soul's urge. A force in the New England transcendentalists, along with Emerson, he loved nature, freedom, and individuality. The one comment that I am most pleased to hear from those who have read my books or listened to my tapes over the years goes like this, quote, "Your words finally reassured me that I am not insane. All my life, people have been telling me that there's something wrong with me for the way I think. Your words made me realize that I'm not crazy. I think that it was in reading Thoreau that I had the very kind of epiphany. I've often imagined myself in the shoes of Thoreau, living simply and deliberately in the woods, being self-sufficient, and writing down what I felt most deeply in my soul. But more than writing it down, the idea of living these ideas, regardless of how others perceive me or react, seems somehow noble. Within each of us, there is a voice that whispers, take the risk, pursue the dreams, live the life to the fullest. As long as you're not hurting anyone else, or why not? Then outside of us, there are voices that scream, don't feel you're going to fail. Be like everyone else if you don't want to be selfish and hurting others." These loud, insistent dictates of our companions urge us to keep us with them, threaten to ostracize us when we fail to do so. I observe that society in general always seems to honor its living conformists and its dead troublemakers. All those who have ever made a difference in my profession have listened to the music they hear and proceeded independent of the opinion of others. For doing so, they are labeled troublemakers, incurables, even misfits, yet they become highly respected after death. This applies to Henry David Thoreau, who was vilified for his position on his essay on the necessity of civil disobedience and jailed for refusing to obey what he considered absurd rulings. Yet today he is required reading in virtually all high schools and universities. The beat that you hear within yourself is your continuous connection to your soul's purpose. It will continue to plague you when you ignore it or suppress it in an attempt to conform with society. Those who implore you to march that beat, they hear often well intentioned. They come from a position of love for you. They will tell you, I have only your very best interest in mind, and I'm the voice of experience. You'll be very sorry if you don't follow my advice. You listen and you try so hard to be just like everybody wants you to be, yet that nagging drum beat that no one else seems to hear faintly thumps in the farthest reaches of your awareness. If you continue to ignore it, you'll live a life of frustration. You may even live a life in suffered in comfort, which is the very best you'll be able to achieve. Thoreau is speaking directly to you from the mid 19th century about your own self sufficiency and happiness. Whatever it is that you feel compelled to do is the voice of your soul pleading with you to have the courage to listen and act on the melody of your ear, as long as it does not interfere with anyone else's right to pursue his dreams. So it is with those around you who are also hearing a drumbeat that's foreign to you. They must they too must be allowed to step to the music they hear, even though it may sound strident and off key to you. If everyone marched to the same music and no one else strayed from that conformity, we would all still be living in the caves and preparing for the same old recipe. Take one whole buffalo, skin and burn it and devour it. Progress is the result of individuals first listening to what their hearts tell them and then acting on those messages despite the prostrations of the tribe. In my own family, we have 8 beautiful children. Wouldn't it be nice if they all attended my lectures and decided to pursue my interests and then took up causes after I leave the world? But my wife and I will know better that some of the children couldn't care less about my passion, and others cannot seem to get enough of it. Some want only to ride horses and want others to only to sing and perform. One child loves economics and accounting, and another advertising and skiing. They all hear their own drumbeat, and in some cases, it's definitely far away from what I hear. I must honor their instincts and their choices and merely guide them out of the harm's way until they can be their own guides. I have always marched to my own beat. Most frequently, it was an inconsistent telling with my own immediate family, but with my culture as well. I've written books that defied conventional psychological practice. I've said in my books what my common sense told me, but even it varied 180 degrees from current popular professional wisdom. I can never find it in my heart to preach to my teachers to do it my way, but I've always pretty much ignored what was being preached to me. Imagine yourself walking through the woods with Thoreau back in the 1840s, before the Civil War. His observations were based not on some philosophy he had read or heard, but on his own direct experience of feeling the outrage of conformity and seeing the horrors of knew how Native Americans were being treated by the white man. He knew that the popular practice of removing Indians from their lands was very unlawful, so that left to live life in nature and experience of self sufficiency away from the pressure of the larger group. He did not keep step with his companions, and at the time he was criticized for it. Yet time revealed to him that one of the troublemakers we revere. Walk with Thoreau in your own mind. Listen to the voice you hear and the drumbeat only that you can feel, and honor it. While honoring those who love you, those you love as well, it's the ultimate act of unconditional love. While it may get not you any old words while you're alive, you can take comfort in knowing that fulfilled your own divine purpose and encourage others to do the same. To put Thoreau's advice into practice, one, refuse to evaluate yourself as sane or insane on the basis of how you fit in with the expectations of those around you. If you feel it and it harms no one, then it is authentic and very sane. Two, remind yourself that you will have to incur the misunderstanding and perhaps even the wrath of those in your immediate tribes for after it's a tyranny to march to your own drumbeat. Don't take it personally, even for one moment. It is merely a strategy to get you to conform, and when you fail to react, the wrath will quickly disappear. And three, allow those in your immediate sphere, family and friends, to have the joy and blissfully marching to their own beat, without having to explain or defend their choices. You will be substituting peace and love for anger and resentment, and all will enjoy the original music they hear. So step to the music that you feel in your heart, regardless of what anyone says or says. You feel to be true. Remember what Thoreau says with the definition of success. He goes, um, move confidently in the direction of your dreams, and you'll meet with success unexpected in common hours. And also, he goes, it's time to start living the life you've imagined. Be a nonconformist. He who's misunderstood is great, and who must be who is a man must be a nonconformist. So follow this, and you'll fulfill your divine purpose. See you next time on the Daily Talk.